are watching Reddit Troll.
Those who basically live out of hotels due to work travel, what's the best and worst part of it? At my last job, I spent 6 weeks in Texas, and we had to work at the client's hours. Their workday started relatively early. Worst part, missing my kids, toddlers at the time, fried foods and generally unhealthy eating habits. Gained 15 pounds while I was away, crummy co-workers, 9 or 10 hour days plus weekends and no overtime. Spent Easter breakfast with a nice retired couple instead of with my family. Best part, it was in March and it was nice and warm. I'm from the Northeast and the road trip was in Texas. Australian here, a lot of mines are all in remote areas, and some sites have limited lifespans, so workers are flown in from major cities. My roster is 4 days on site, 3 days off. Other places might do 8 on, 6 off or 14 on, 7 off. The good pay is considerably higher than it would be doing the same work in the city since I'm doing more hours. Lots of flying means lots of frequent flyer points. Bad. So much fucking flying. It is not doing my back and neck any favors. Finding time to exercise is hard since you have fuck all time to yourself after work. The food is terrible. Companies like Sodexo cater prisons and cafeterias in US schools, so they know how to cut corners everywhere. It's really hard to describe just what's wrong with the food, but it's like it's prepared in a really subtle yet sinister way that's designed to break your spirits. Best parts. Never have to worry about cooking or cleaning. Per diem is essentially getting paid to experience new restaurants every day. I've tried such a wide variety of food from all over the country. There is almost always tea in the lobby in the evenings. Worst parts. Airports, though I've started upgrading to first class a bit on my own dime, which makes it so much better. Travel burnout, sometimes you just want your own bed and pillows. Wearing the same 5 shirts week after week. Obligations at home don't stop. You have to plan appointments around potential travel. Getting sick. When you travel you're exposed to germs from new places, so usually a week or so after travel you'll start to get cold/flu symptoms. Actually fighting off a cold now. Edit, after 9 hours it occurred to me to mention that being away from my wife is also a major con. And as she reads Reddit and knows my username, I really hope she hasn't been tracking how long this edit took. But just in case, happy anniversary, wife. 150 nights in hotels this year. Here's my perspective. Best. All the points. I get to keep all my airline miles, hotel points, and rental car points. This makes traveling for fun pretty inexpensive. Pick a brand and stick with it if you can to maximize this benefit. Also, get the credit card for the airline and hotel chain of choice. Getting to go places you never thought you would go. I likely would have never gone to some place like Lincoln, Nebraska or Fargo, North Dakota, but had a good time exploring the little downtowns. I've also caught sporting events and concerts in other cities. I look for stuff to do at night because it's better than sitting in the hotel. I live in the Mountain West, so getting to leave the cold and snow for a business trip to San Diego or Austin isn't the worst thing in the world. Escaping the summer heat to someplace like Seattle or Vancouver is nice, too. All the food and craft beer. This is kind of a good and bad thing because the calories totally add up, but it's fun to check out local places if you're a foodie. I bring back a lot of sours and barrel-aged beers to share with friends. I like to run, so it's fun to run in new places. Favorites include along the Deschutes River in Bend, the seawall in Vancouver, and anywhere in Southern California where I can see the ocean. Worst. It is hard to maintain a healthy lifestyle on the road. Restaurants and booze and lack of exercise add up. I have to try really hard to try to keep some balance, but don't always succeed. It is really hard on the social life. I miss out on a lot of stuff that happens during the week. Dating and making friends is hard already, but being gone 4 days out of the week adds an additional level of difficulty. Waking up and not knowing what city you're in. This will happen to you. Just wait. It can be lonely. I don't like sitting in my room alone in the evenings, so I try to get out and explore or find myself chatting with the other biz travel folks in the hotel bar. Overall, I enjoy the travel, but it can be a grind. I try to travel 3 weeks out of the month and stay home for a week. I am lucky that I am mostly in charge of my own schedule. Some people don't get that luxury. I lived in hotels from 2008 to 2013, and in the beginning I thought it was a luxury. Free cleaning, a nutritious breakfast, close to the city, a comfortable bed and many people in the same situation that you could have a chat with. When work was over, I'd have a beer or two in the bar or lounge and would have a chat with strangers. It was a pleasant feeling at first, but it wouldn't take long until I just felt empty. I was in my early 20s, and from Monday to Friday I'd live at a hotel and spend the weekend at home. Over time this built up negligence for my own place, and it would be very far and in between each time I'd clean my apartment. Over a longer period of time I'd turn into a sloth and my place would just be a big dumpster. I didn't learn basic cooking skills because the hotels didn't have a private kitchen, so every meal was takeout both when I was living at a hotel and when I came home. I would eventually gain weight because I was eating very unhealthy. My social life was dead, every week new people and always the same conversations, introduce myself, explain my line of work, talk about their line of work, finish the beer, go to bed. I would rarely see my family and friends. They made plans for the weekends when I weren't there and no one I got to know at the hotels, be that staff or regulars, ever stuck around, and the whole thing just felt empty and fake. After 5 years I'd had enough, quit my job and went back to finish my education. This was the absolute worst feeling because it had the illusion of being nice and pleasant, but it left me with an empty void that I've spent the past 6 years to fill up with the basic shit of routines I lost during that period of time, and I will never go back to a line of work that requires me to travel as much ever again.